Welcome everybody to Clarington Kia, where it's your experience your way every day, online and in store. And today we have a very special vehicle for you. This is a 2019 Kia Niro SX Touring, full EV, full electric vehicle, 387 kilometer range, fully loaded touring model. This is an amazing find. Only 83,597 kilometers on this. This to me is like the best bang for buck on our lot. I'm surprised it's still here. It's been here for about 2 days. Mind you, it's been in detail, so maybe that's why. Nonetheless, here we are. So we're gonna take you on a tour of this Niro. We're gonna talk about the EV powertrain. We're gonna talk about the great features on it. And of course, we're gonna cover the exterior and interior conditions. So that way you have a better understanding of exactly what you're getting here at Clarington Kia with this Niro. So this is a little bit longer video. Stay tuned. If you want to know about the EV and how it works, this is what's coming up next. If you want to skip that because you already know, everything's chaptered below. You can skip this part. So let's jump right into it. So electric vehicles, really simple. There is an electric motor and a battery. Okay, that's as basic as it gets. That's why they're so low on maintenance costs, because they don't have a combustion engine and all these other parts that typical ICE vehicles have. Internal combustion engine, a little bit of slang for you. So what we have in the Niro is a 150 kilowatt electric motor. So what that equates to, if you want to go back to like the old school horsepower settings, that's about 200 horsepower. Now here's the wicked part. Everybody talks about how fast EVs are and how much they have that pulling power. 291 foot-pounds of torque out of that 150 kilowatt motor. That is like lightning fast. That is just one of the things that pushes you in the back of your seat, and it's a rocket ship. Now, what's powering that is a 64 kilowatt hour battery. To give you a comparison for size, a Tesla Model 3 standard range has a 54 kilowatt hour battery. So this has got a bigger battery than a Model 3. However, we're looking at 385 kilometers of ideal range. So ideal range is very simple. Best conditions, you know, kind of a nice day, not too much wind, not too much heat, not too cool. Ideal conditions, you're gonna get 385 kilometers. Now that's from a full charge down to essentially zero. You will never do that. That would obviously be horrible. What you are gonna do is you're gonna charge this Niro up to about 90% every day, unless you're going on a long trip, then go to 100. And you're never gonna wanna get it down to less than 10% of your battery life. That is the best way to keep this healthy battery alive, is between 90 and 10, 90 and 10, 90 and 20 if you can. But I mean, if you have to go to 10, not a big deal, okay? Speaking of battery and health, 8-year, 160,000 kilometer warranty on all of the electric vehicle components, including that battery. So you've got about 80 some odd thousand, a little bit less than 80,000 kilometers left on that warranty for your battery. They are fantastic. They do not degrade very much. You're looking at about 1.5–2% a year as far as what comes off the total battery life, okay? But a fantastic power plant in this. That 150 kilowatt engine, or pardon me, motor, and a 64 kilowatt hour battery pack. Now, how do we charge the battery? Very simple. There is a little charging port up front here, okay? And give it a push, and then we've got your different ports here. So when we talk about charging, there's 3 different levels of charging. There's the first level of charging, which is basically the worst level. It is like plugging it into just a regular outlet in the house, right? A 120 volt. And I'm not gonna talk about how long that takes to charge, because you would never wanna do it that way. That is like emergency situation. I don't even know. I don't know why you'd use that. What we're gonna talk about is level 2 charging, okay? So a level 2 charger then hooks up to a, 240 volt charge plug in your house. So that's like the plug you use for your dryer. So if you get a 240 volt plug put into your garage, you then run a level 2 charger, and you're gonna get 7.2 kilowatts of charge per hour. What that really means is that when you bring this 64 kilowatt hour battery, and you know, let's say you get it down to 10%, take that, let's say 60 kilowatts divided by 7.2, you're looking at like what? 6–7 hours for a full charge. Your typical drive, if you're just driving, you know, around town, you bring it down to 30–40%, whatever. You're charging overnight on a level 2 charger. You're gonna get up in the morning, the car's gonna be charged up, good to go. Best of all, you're charging off-peak hours. So how much does it cost to charge a Niro? If you're charging off-peak, if I'm comparing it with my Tesla, hence the reason why I know so much about EVs, I am about $1 to $2 a day charging my battery, and if I'm really low on my battery, it's like $2.87, whatever. Let's say under $3 a day if you were driving this thing 300 kilometers a day. It's pretty darn cheap when you compare it to the price of fuel, right? So on average, you're gonna spend, let's say $1.50 a day charging it up, unless you're really using all the range on the EV. And that is fantastic when you're talking about fuel prices that keep going up, down, who knows where they're gonna be next week, right? So that is how we charge up the Niro. Now, there's also regenerative braking as you are driving, and let's say you lift off the accelerator pedal. So now you're coasting. What the Niro will do is it will take that electric motor, it will put it into a reverse gear, and it will take the power that, or sorry, not the power, but it will take that coasting, and it'll actually put the motor in reverse, and it'll draw power and charge the battery, hence regenerative. And when you brake, even more so, right? So the nice thing is as you drive and coast and brake and things like that, it's actually charging the battery back up. How much does it charge? Well, not a ton, but what it does is it extends that life, right? So if you're in stop and go traffic, you get even better mileage, or range, I should say, out of this. Cruising on the highway is actually, contrary to what a gas car is, it's actually harder on the battery because you're using electric. But if you're stop and go, you know, around town, you get better range than a traditional internal combustion vehicle, of course. So this concludes a very lengthy and thorough explanation of the EV power plant on this Niro. Now that that's all been done, welcome back everybody who may have skipped that. Let's talk about the features and condition of this Niro. So right up front, let's talk about what we see here. Cool part about having an EV, you do not need a grill because we are not cooling anything. There's nothing to cool, there's no radiator, there's nothing in there. So we have this nice, cool little like diamond design on the front. There is our charging port there, as we already reviewed. We have LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, LED fog lights, and then that other driving light down there. Now the Niro gets that cool kind of aqua teal finish there on the front, not grille, but front bumper. And it kind of continues around to the fog light housing there as well. Swinging around to the side, we can take a look. We've got these nice 17-inch alloy wheels. Now those are aerodynamically designed, and they are actually going to give you better fuel economy than a traditional alloy wheel. It actually just takes that air and pushes it outside of it rather than drawing it into cool brakes, because we don't need the cool brakes on this car. Kind of cool, right? They've designed everything here with purpose. Now, taking a step back, the Niro has got a very interesting side profile. It's taller than you would expect. It looks more kind of like a crossover vehicle. However, it's not, but it's tons of room on the inside. So really interesting, right? The design of it is really kind of appealing to a lot of different markets because it does have that nice tall roof line. Now, swinging around to the back, let's take a look at what we have back here, and then we're gonna go check out the cargo space. So you can see the LED tail lights as well. And the LED lights are fantastic because obviously they're brighter, but for tail lights, LEDs react quite a bit quicker than a traditional bulb. So that can make the difference between someone seeing your brake lights sooner or later and then bumping into you, right? Now on the back bumper here, we've got that nice teal kind of treatment as well. Taking a look, there is literally like minor scuff there. Little minor scuff here. I bet you if we buff and polish this, a lot of that will come out. So again, little buff and polish on the back here, and it's gonna look fantastic. I'm being super picky, especially because it's black. It's pretty easy to see this stuff, right? Taking a look in the trunk, lots of room back here. Definitely can fit an overnight bag. You can fit lots of groceries. You can fit your kids' hockey bag back here, no problem. We've got a little hidden storage underneath as well. Got that cargo cover, which you're going to take out, put in the garage, and probably never see that again. Surprised it actually got traded in with it. Coming around to the passenger side, everything looks fantastic here, and this is where I want to talk about some of the safety features you get on the Niro. So we have forward emergency braking with forward collision warning. So if you're driving and you're maybe just a little bit distracted, touching the radio, doing whatever it is, the traffic in front of you is starting to slow down, it will actually warn you and also grab the brakes to hopefully avoid that collision. We have blind spot warning and lane keeping assist. So as you're driving, if you start drifting over a lane, it will actually let you know that you are drifting, and it'll just gently nudge you back into the lane. So those are great safety features to have. Now let's take a look inside the rear seats. Whew, I'm running out of breath. This is a lot, guys. All right, so inside you can see rear passengers, beautiful leather seating, Really nice armrest with the cup holder. And then also, I don't know if you can see that down here, but we have a 115 volt power outlet here. So that's like an outlet in your house. So you could charge up your laptop or other electronic devices that you might want to charge. And then the rear passengers are treated to heated seats. You can see that little button there on the armrest. We've got this nice piano black finish here as well. So the rear outboard seats, the ones on each side closest to the door, are heated, which is sweet. Now taking a look at the front seats. First of all, power tilt and slide sunroof up top. We've got the nice leather perforated seats with that white piping down the bolstering, which looks really fantastic. No rips, tears, stains, or burns, and it smells fantastic. It's definitely a non-smoker vehicle. We have a power driver's seat with power lumbar support, and that is connected to a 2-position memory setting. So 2 driver settings, works with the mirrors, the seat, and something else. The mirrors, the seat, and something else. Correct me, drop it a line in the comments below. Let me know what else it works with. Now here we have our advanced safety features, the blind spot warning, the lane keeping assist. You can turn those on or off if you like. Don't know why you would, but you can. Here we have the charging. So auto means that it's going to set a time that you can set when it starts to charge at night. So that way you're not charging on peak hours, or we can turn that off. Let's say we're on a long trip and we need to pull over and do a fast charge at a level 3 charger. You can turn this off and it'll start to charge as soon as you plug it in. Speaking of level 3 chargers, I forgot to mention that it will charge up to 100 kilowatts at a level 3 charger. Those are the fast chargers that you can find at various places. All the en routes in Ontario have level 3 fast chargers now. So you don't have to worry about taking this to Montreal. You can pull off at any en route and they will have level 3 chargers, which is fantastic news. The government keeps on spending tons of money into building this infrastructure. So rest assured, you've got lots and lots of infrastructure for it now. Taking a look at the steering wheel, leather steering wheel, heated steering wheel, really, really nice setup here. We've got your Bluetooth controls and volume controls over here. We have our cruise control over here. It is adaptive cruise control, so it will match the speed of any vehicle in front. When you have cruise on, it'll slow down and it'll wait for it to get out of the way and then go back up to your cruising speed, which is fantastic. Now let's take a look in our gauges here. So you can see 377 kilometers of range. And then this over here will tell you if you're powering the vehicle or if you're using your regenerative charging. So as you're driving, you're going to see this gauge go up and down depending on if you're charging or using power. What I can tell you from experience is ignore most of this. Your range, sure, I mean, you can pay attention to it, but 370 kilometers, that's a lot of driving. Unless you're on a long trip, you don't even need to pay attention to that. There's tons of range on the vehicle, so don't have any range anxiety, just let it do its thing. We have our digital speedometer over here, and then in the center here, we have a lot of different information that you can toggle through using this button here. So there's our consumption, which is measured in kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Our compass, this is some of the safety features you can go through. Settings for the vehicles all here. Let's see if we can, I want to see if we can find the average consumption. So average consumption over 3,300 kilometers is 19.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. I bet you could get that down into the low 15s, 14s. And that is a comparison to like fuel economy, right? Those liters per 100 is measured in kilowatt hours per 100. Remember, a 64 kilowatt hour battery divided by X, blah, blah, blah. That's how you kind of get the range, right? Totally geeking out, sorry. Super love EV stuff. So yeah, hey, you're gonna get the full information when we talk about this. Now taking a look over here in our center stack. So we've got our navigation systems on board. We have, when we go to the radio here, let's go to, where are we? Menu. I'm trying to find the, well, here, let's go all menus. It's probably simpler. So UVO, we'll talk about that in a minute. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that's really kind of what you need to know here. Plug in your phone and basically this whole screen just mimics your cell phone. Then you can use your, you can reply back to text messages using your voice. You can use Siri, you can use Spotify, you can use, you know, Waze navigation, whatever you want, everything kind of in here. That's the best way to use this, let's face it. If you don't want to, no problem. You can still use the onboard audio system. By the way, Harman Kardon sound system in the Niro, only in the SX Premium. So amazing sound system, obviously. When we go to the EV menu here, this is going to show you basically a couple different things. So there's your battery. right? There is your, who cares, eco driving, charge management. So that's where you can set up when you want it to charge specifically when you plug in. This is kind of cool. So this is showing you basically how far you can drive with the charge that you have left, okay? So it gives you kind of this radius and things like that. To me, I'll be honest, I don't like these things because it draws attention to the fact that it's an EV, and it draws attention to range anxiety. Just know you can drive 350, 370, 360, depending on how you drive, range on the vehicle. That's all you need to know. We don't need to get all technical with this, but I mean, it's there, whatever. I won't get into it. That's just my own personal thing, right? And then we've got our menus here, our radio, Bluetooth, all that. It's all there. It's all where it should be. Harman Kardon sound, that's what you really want to know. Push button start. Kind of funny you need a start button still in an EV, but that's okay. And then manual controls for the touchscreen as well, just in case you don't like the touchscreen setup. We've got the automatic climate control here. Now, one thing to know, this the Niro in the SX Premium has a heat pump versus a traditional heater. The heat pump, all that means is that basically it's not drawing a ton of energy from the Niro to heat the vehicle during the winter, which is the best thing you can have, because winter driving, cold climate, the Niro will not get 377 kilometers of range. It will drop down to probably 330, 340, 350. If you can precondition the Niro, all the better. While it's plugged into the house, while it's charging up, precondition that battery about 20 minutes before you leave the house. You're going to get so much better range out of this, and then combine that with the heat pump. Perfect. Now, just below that, hopefully my gimbal does, oh, there it does. Of course it freaks out. Just below that, we have a wireless charger, and then a couple USB ports and a 12-volt outlet as well. But the wireless charger is sweet. Just drop your phone in there, and then it'll charge up. In front here, we've got a nice big kind of storage container, junk trays, I like to call it. Probably put your tissue box there or something like that. Maybe a couple of cords to plug your stuff in. That's cool. And then here's, you know, some unique stuff. This is how we select the gear we want. So it's just a dial. You put your foot on the brake, to the right for reverse, and then we get that nice rear view camera, of course, right? And then to the right for drive. Sorry, I said to the left. You know what I mean. To the left reverse, to the right drive. We got it. And then P to put it in park. Now here we have heated and cooled driver and passenger seats. So cooled seats, heated seats, right? Little tip for range: turn down the heat and the air conditioning and use your heated or cooled seats. That's going to help your range as well. Even with the heat pump, the better you can use this doesn't draw as much energy as a heat pump will for heating. So just a little thing to know. We've got auto hold for your electronic parking brake. That's a sweet thing to have when you come to a stoplight that feels like it's 45 minutes long, kind of like this video. When you have auto hold engaged and push, get to a complete stop, you can lift your foot off the brake pedal. It will hold it there for you until you start touching the accelerator again. Heated steering wheel, parking sensors, drive mode. Drive mode, why would you drive it in anything other than basically eco mode? But you can see here, oh, it's probably easier to look here. So normal drive mode, sport, mind you, 291 foot-pounds of torque. It's going to boogie on you. And then we have eco mode, right? So whatever mode you choose, this is obviously the best one. Unless you want to have some fun, throw it in eco mode, or throw it in sport mode. Go for it, whatever. Not for me to choose. A little bit of storage down here with your cup holders and such. And then in the armrest, some more storage with another USB charger down there. Just give you a quick pan over here of the entire dashboard setup. Now we're looking at 19 minutes so far, and I do apologize if this is a lengthy video, but let's face it, if you're gonna buy an EV, you wanna know what you're getting. You wanna know what you're getting yourself into. And part of that is understanding the Carfax 2019 Kia, wow, combining words, Kia Niro EX Premium, 1 owner, no accidents reported, 7 service records. That's shocking. I wonder what they did for service. Let's see if we can find out here. What would we do for service? They don't require a whole lot. Couple of glass claims. That's one thing with EVs, because they're so aerodynamic, they are kind of prone to stone chips and things like that. Hood deflector, valuable investment. So let's see, pre-delivery inspection, 6,000 kilometers service performed. That's when you get the vehicle. They usually suggest that. Cabin filter replaced, rear brakes serviced, alignment checked, brakes checked. So yeah, I mean, that's the maintenance that you're doing. Brake checks and cabin air filters and wiper blades. These are incredibly amazing on maintenance because there really is no maintenance. You're just brakes, tires, and wipers. pretty sweet with that regard, right? So this has been a very comprehensive tour of this 2019 Niro EV. I love it. It's near and dear to my heart. EVs is the way to go. And if you don't believe that, get the heck out of here. We don't want to see you on this channel. Just kidding, but kind of not really. This EV is a fantastic find here at Clarington Kia. And if you want to purchase this, I'm going to suggest you do it one of two ways. You either come, see us, take this out for a drive, fall in love, meet our amazing sales team, and wrap up your purchase in store. Or if you like, you can purchase this entirely on our website. You can leave a deposit. Even if you have a trade-in, we can trade in your car right from the comfort of your own home, do all your financing, everything to make sure you love this vehicle and it gets to your house. Sold, signed, sealed, delivered. Whatever you choose, it's your experience, your way here at Clarington Kia, and this is a fantastic find at our store. So congratulations to whoever the new lucky owner is. Would love to hear from you in the comments on the YouTube channel. Other than that, folks, come get yourself an EV and save on fuel and love driving again. From your friends here at Clarington Kia.